Z-Rod's back. He's been. You guys talked about how active he's been in practice, but this week especially, what have you seen on him as he's ramped up?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to just have him in the meetings preparing, knowing that he's a part of this whole thing. You know, he's such a good guy and such a good player, and he just makes us, you know, so much a better offense. Just having his, I don't know, just his whole persona. You know, just the way he carries himself. He's a veteran in this league. He's very tough-minded, and he's super talented.
Running backs take such a beating. Is there some value in him having fresh legs at this point in the season when you're going into this SEC play?
I mean, yes, without doubt. I mean, you know, you'd hope to like to see that he's, you know, because he's stayed active, but you know, he hasn't been taken to the ground in a month either. You know, so you know, those are all things that. But I'm not worried about that. You know, he's been very reliable and durable, and he's in great shape, and you know, he's handled things very, very well in a very difficult situation. So I'm very happy with how he's carried himself and mentally taken himself to where he needs to go. So when the time came, he was ready.
Are you happy to have him back, especially when it comes to blocking up front? Just, you know, be able to help out in that department.
Yeah, I mean, he just, he's, you know, he ran for a lot of yards because he's not going to go down on contact, and he's just that's why he's going to be a really good NFL running back. And one of the things that I appreciate that he'll add to this is, you know, there's a real special gift that runners have in his own system, the ability to press, set up their blocks. There's a patience, not a panic, and since the day I've gotten here, he has a real gift for that. So I'm excited for that part of it to see what it looks like and add something to the offense.
Sean described the Ole Miss defense as being a bit unorthodox. What do you see from them?
Yeah, I mean, it's unorthodox in the fact that they're playing with a lot of DBs, you know, and they're, you know, but coverage-wise and all that, it's sound. It's just a different way of attacking things, and I appreciate it in this world where it's a spread tempo world and you play less man coverage. It's a great way to play to the strength of the kind of guys you can recruit, and I think they do a good job of coaching it, and I think they kind of have an identity in how they do it, and they're going to create some havoc. They got a the most vital part, of my opinion, of the defense that they have is one of their best players at safety, and so yeah, it'll be a good challenge in that environment. It's going to be really tough.
Does it help that you've seen probably 3 out of the 4 defenses you faced that brought kind of an unconventional type style?
Yeah, you know, we were, you know, pretty young, relatively young overall, and you know, you practice against a certain style of defense, 3-down defense, most of training camp, most of the springtime. Then you see a bunch of 4-down defenses and different coverage schemes, and so there's always an evolution. Then when you cycle back to those types of defenses again, they're prepared for what to expect, and they understand, oh, that's why these plays are up again. Oh, we've done this, so there's recall, and so you hope you're able to improve, be tighter, and bring it all together.
I'm curious from your NFL background how, you know, there's only a certain kind of set systems, how that translates from a scouting perspective for you, where now it's, you know, the board is wide open with various looks they'll give you pre-snap.
Yeah, I mean, like getting ready for a couple of these games, literally every game tape you watch, it's other spread offenses, other tempo. Like last week, you know, I mean, they played Tulsa, and these teams are tempo offenses. So, yeah, it doesn't necessarily translate to what we're doing. So there's definitely a feeling out process in early games to see how they're going to play you, and so you have to be very good at adjusting so you can, you know, have the flexibility to attack it. I do like the fact that in the SEC you're going to always have some common opponents that can get big on people, can lean on people, can play with a style of play that's similar to what we can do, and so I do appreciate that now, and it will help us. But one of the cool things is how this has evolved is more nickel in the NFL to regular sets, and so it's prepared us, made it easier for me personally in that transition. So I think we can adapt, and so far it's been okay.
Which is a little unusual. You got 2 guys starting on your defense who played on their defense. Do you pick their brains at all?
Absolutely not. I'd be crazy to give you, have not give me, the rules and scouting reports and things that they do. But and I'd expect them to do the same. I mean, that's, Bill Belichick's been claiming guys off the practice squad for years to do that every week. So, that is part of the nature of things. But that can also hurt you too if you take too much into it sometimes. So what's on the tape's what's on the tape. We'll go attack it the best we can, and we'll see if we can score some points.
Having Chris and Juton back, we saw some of Juton last week. How does that open up what you want to do maybe with Smoke or Lavelle and maybe in a different role?
Yeah, without giving too much away, it fires me up. I mean, it's just we had a lot of cool packages in fall camp, and that we thought we developed in the summertime where we could put variations of guys on the field with Juton, with C-Rod, with receivers, with no running backs, with running backs, receivers and running back, all those things, the stuff we did in SF. So I think having C-Rod back and having some depth again, because we were really playing with two guys and running back for 2 weeks there, it provides us a chance to have some fun with our personnel groups.
You were excited about Chris's pass catching ability back in the spring.
I am. I'm very
Is that something
excited.
that remains?
Yeah, it's been very pleasing to me to his ability to run routes, his ability to catch, his feel for the pass game. I think Will likes throwing to him, so yeah, he's definitely gives him great value on third down. He's been really good in protection. He's big, he's sturdy. Our protection scheme, we've done things, he picked it up pretty quickly. So excited about having him back in a lot of ways.
Rich, you mentioned his ability to kind of thrive in his own blocking scheme. When you were first studying these guys, when you knew you were coming here for the job, what kind of jumped out to you about Rodriguez when you first watched him?
Yeah, it's funny. It's really cool because you watch the tape and then you're around it, and I learned to appreciate it even more. I think it's why he's going to be a really good back in the NFL. I think he's going to be pretty durable. He's very sturdy the way he's built, the way he runs behind his pads. He always runs his feet on contact. If I had to tackle him in the hole and I was a safety, I'd be fearful. He's just one of those guys, and he loves it. He embraces it. But yet I think he's built for it too. So that mindset is hard to find. Combine that with some natural feel, you got a pretty good football player.
Stoops
Northern
mentioned that.
Illinois brought the house so much. Do you expect to see a lot of that?
I hope they do. I mean, literally, this offense is built for pressure, and I love it. I mean, Will and I talk about it every week. They'll learn at some point, but keep bringing it. I hope you do.
Stoops mentioned yesterday that you're not expecting C-Rod to just be the savior tomorrow. I guess what are the expectations for him, and as far as just workload and what you think he's going to bring in?
Yeah, I'm sorry, one more time again?
Stoops mentioned that you're not expecting C-Rod to be the savior this Saturday and to really just step out there, change the running game. What are you expecting out of him, and how does the rest of the running back room kind of adjust to him being there?
One of the great I love Coach's messages every week. We kind of carry him on offense too, what he kind of lays down, and it's I believe it at the core. It's all about being the best version of you. It's not being any more, any less. It's about doing your job, doing it to the best of your ability, and doing it with a good attitude. That's all we're going to ask of him. What that brings to the table, can't wait to see what that looks like. But until then, and I'm not going to ask anything more of him, and we're going to go out there and run our offense, and we got to block them. We got to be sound. We got to have a couple more good practices, and we got to go into a hostile environment against a great football team and see if we can stand toe to toe.
Are you starting to see more synergy in the offensive line?
Am I starting to see what? I'm sorry.
More synergy in whatever.
No, I definitely. I was just having Tayshaun back. It's just there's a solidity to it, we just haven't had the same lineup, more than two games, So that was all throughout camp. So you're only going to get better as long as we can stay healthy and continue to gel. But yeah, we got to play better all the way around. We're nowhere near where we need to be good football teams. We got to take care of the ball, and we got to come off the ball and be physical, and we got to run hard and keep playing well in Q. And if we do that, we can play with most teams, but we can't let up.
Rich, obviously the big pass to Barry on the 70-yard pass was an explosive play. But talk about the wide receiver screen that he scored on. He had to weave through traffic, and it was set up well. For a freshman, how difficult is it to learn to do that?
Yeah, he's a special player. He's got a real innate feel for it. It's no different than why he's good on that and why I use him is the same reason I use T-Rob on him. They're punt returners, kick returners. They just got natural feel, spatial awareness, and they're willing to, run through it. And, to me, those are like run plays. You get your best players the ball in space, and you let them do what they can do. And, sometimes poor old line coach has to eat some runs that I put in the plan because I want to do other things off of it, and that's the way it is. But that was one of them, and they attacked it and they executed it well. Horsey made a great block, and he just set him up, and the rest is on him. But he's a wonderful kid. I really like his attitude, and I really like him as a player and a person. So I'm excited to get him the rock, and I hope he can continue to do that. So.
Okay, folks, thank you very much. We've got